You're on a retro trek with the Caramel Apples, a podcast that dials up most impressive stargazing nostalgia from your home planet to the Hoth system, with your host Kennedy Rizzo and Cooper Lake.
Not from a Jedi.
Hello, Orchard Archivers. Thank you for joining us for our Star Wars with a Caramel Twist Prequels of Destiny series.
That's right. We're heading back to the faraway galaxy for some star-studded entertainment. This is just the thing we come to look forward to when you're a diehard Star Wars fan.
Yes!
We have a lot in store for you, but as per usual, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another caramelicious second of our podcast. Stop by and say hi on the Gram, X, and TikTok. Also, feel free to explore our official website, RetroTrekwithTheCaramelApples.com, for all the latest and greatest updates going down in the Retro Orchard.
Oh, yes, we are excited and we're coming in fast and hot with our introduction into the third and final prequel. Oh, I hate to hear that it's ending now.
I say it isn't so.
Oh, such a letdown. Just like Anakin landing the invisible hand after he, Obi-Wan, and R2 rescue the Supreme Chancellor.
Oh, what a scene. So, fans, yeah, we are so ready for the Revenge of the Sith, aren't we?
Yes.
And no quiet, slow build-up for this installment at all. And a side note, no control towers were harmed in this landing today.
Coop's nuts.
So, Kenny, why are we launched headlong into action?
Well, the easy answer is there has been a deep foundation laid for straight action to take place in episode 3. Then there was what we didn't see in live action, that being the Clone Wars.
A lot. Mm-hmm. And we do mean a lot takes place within that time period.
Yeah.
3 years to be exact. That would be really cool, though, to see that on the silver screen, by the way. Hint, hint. If they so choose, we're on board.
That's right. Did you feel that nudge in your ribs there, folks? No. The only sad thing is that Lucas likely would have had very little involvement, if any at all.
Oh, yeah, that little point, huh? But let's not fret over what may or may not happen. We do have Revenge of the Sith after all.
Oh my gosh, yes. And with George directly in the director's chair. Thank goodness.
Yes. The fans are ecstatic. Of course, back to our Jedi Knights on a mission to rescue the Supreme Chancellor, as we mentioned, was kidnapped by none other than General Grievous at Dooku's bidding. You know, your favorite, Kennard.
Oh, yes, right. The clones, as expected, are fighting side by side with our Jedi Kenobi and Skywalker. Annie has indeed grown up quite a bit, and Kenobi is still not in want of frequent flyer miles. We are nuts.
So Annie looks much older, but still quite impulsive and unwilling to give up so quickly. With his trusty R2 astrogdroid at his side, he's ready for all the action, but has forgotten the shield he needed to disengage on the invisible hand.
What about the shield and the helmet? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong movie.
Wrong movie. But it fits.
I guess. Upon boarding the ship, the rescue of Palpatine is just seconds away, but not before some much needed back and forth between Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's so cool to see here in the year 19 BBY. Battle after battle, Anakin is now in full-fledged knight status. No longer under Master Obi-Wan, but now they operate more in tandem.
But he's still definitely Anakin. Now, really, just try and tell him what to do.
Uh-oh, there's problems. Problems everywhere.
Exactly. Obi-Wan's like, yeah, the bane of my existence for my headaches. Yes, thank you.
Problems.
He does what he thinks he should do, and it's much more like Qui-Gon Jinn, which may or may not be in the direction one would want him to go. Even Palpatine might find him to be a little frustrating at times.
Can you believe we're already past the actual 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith on the calendar, that being May 19th?
Mind-blowing. Not at all. Gosh, I mean, this year is going really fast, and you talk about 20 years. Wow, that went really, really quick.
Good God.
Can so remember the 2005 opening day like it was just yesterday.
100%.
It's such a work of art. Star Wars never gets old.
It does age really well.
Yes.
Speaking of art, artist Drew Struzan returned to create this original stunning picture, which shows how important it is to keep with the same aesthetic. He has it designed not only for Star Wars, other movies like Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, Back to the Future. You can see and visualize these works of art right now. Such a signature style.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that, Kennard. Fun fact, this legendary artist worked very, very hard and was so grateful for the shot of being hired by Lucas, Spielberg, Darabont, and Del Toro. So he's now since retired. Struzan was honored back in 2018 with a poster drawn in his style featuring Drew himself in the center foreground of the pic and all the epic stories he's drawn around him.
Okay.
In this picture. Even the directors are in it as well.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really cool to see. And what an ode to him.
100%. That'd be awesome to see. I haven't actually seen that. I have to look that up.
Yeah.
He was already part of history. But with this prize poster, he's surrounded in one fell swoop. He's literally reminded of everything in one glance.
Yeah. So love this for him. He didn't fade into the background at all. Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, you can tell we're super fans.
Yes.
Also, we're fresh off the release of the 20th anniversary. We totally did a show on the movie-going experience 20 years later right here on the podcast. So check that out. We'll have to link that in the show notes.
Yes. Epic. EPIC.
It really was.
Oh my God. They wanted to do something, a few things special to capture this moment in time. We mentioned the re-release for 6 days, I believe. I think it went pretty global, but I don't think it hit every major country. So some people got it, some people didn't. They had a ton of novelty items, like they had the Darth Vader cups. We talked about the sippy cup.
We had those. We have those.
Yes. There's some posters that they did. Also, they had popcorn buckets. They had other drink cups that you could get. They just had a lot of different things to memorialize this time period, which is really, really cool. And not to forget, they had special surprise appearances.
Yes, they did.
It was a very rare, nice treat for the Star Wars fans out there. Something else special, as we mentioned, is the new artwork, that poster by Matt Ferguson. It's really cool, the concept that they put together.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice touch. And let us tell you why. Our listeners may wonder why we're going on about this detail. Well, filmmaker Dean DeBlois describes the point best, quote, I could go on to the theater and stare at the poster and try to recall everything about the film, and it just jogged my imagination. It made me want to be part of that world. And here I am, several movies in. End quote.
Yes, he was speaking from a standpoint of being young back in the 70s, back before VHS was even really readily available.
Man, that's a blast from the past.
Right? And he's talking from that viewpoint that he didn't have a lot of money, so he could relive those movies from Struzan's posters. Like he could, yeah, you've seen it once, but now if you look at the poster, you can completely remember how things took place and who were the players.
And we can understand that. We lived, well, we were a little younger in the 70s, but whatever. It was still kind of that way in the 80s. So we understand what he's saying when you didn't have access like we do now to things.
Yeah.
Something like a really well-crafted poster can help you fall into certain worlds.
Absolutely.
So we totally get what he's saying.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we're saying. So, I mean, I love that he brought that out because that's a real feeling.
Yes. Hammer, meet, nail.
Mm-hmm. So the movies were epic, obviously. You wanted to see them over and over again. But if you couldn't afford that, well, the poster again would stroke the coals in your mind to help bring back the story to life. And it did that for many, many movies, but it definitely did that for Star Wars.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And it all works together. So thank you, Mr. Struzan. Your designs have stood the test of time. It goes hand in hand. So nice to hear he was given such a nod. Love hearing that.
Oh, 100%. Now, also, the next generation will have the original and the new to embrace.
Yes, yes.
So with the movie as big as Revenge of the Sith...
how do we spell big? Billion with a B. It's massive. So go ahead, Kennard. Sorry for the interruption.
Gosh, that needed to be stated, though. In keeping with our awesome art, it would be really hard to decide what are the highlights, the moments that must be on a movie poster.
Yeah.
In truth, there are just too many for everything to be featured.
Yes, and this scene for little R2 would probably not make the poster cut, but it's an absolute favorite of mine.
Yeah, you can't not cut out R2. But it's really hard to choose from him. He's so darling. Mm-hmm. Which one are you thinking about?
Well, after the skid landing onto General Grievous's ship, General Kenobi and Jedi Knight Skywalker immediately begin mowing down battle droids. Mm-hmm. And R2 ejects himself from the ship and rolls towards them. He's always there. He's so helpful.
And cute.
Yes. And everyone tells him to locate the Chancellor, and R2 complies. As they cut down all the droids in the ship hangar, they head to locate and rescue Palpatine, or in Kenobi's words, spring the trap, if you will. So Anakin tells R2 to stay with the ship. Just want to point out that our little cooing droid wants to be with Anakin all the time.
Okay, that's scary.
I know, right?
It's endearing, but it's scary.
He's like, I'm your little buddy, right?
Oh my goodness, this feels familiar with about our cats.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's like, we need our space, please. You said he cooed.
Oh, he's so cute.
So he acquiesces with the comm. He awaits instructions. Meanwhile, Anakin and Obi have indeed come as Dooku Grievous has expected. Now the fun really begins.
Yeah. Really love this whole scene. You know, the way the two Jedi banter and get along and work together. And R2 all by himself at this point hides to await instructions. But more droids come into the hangar. He spots them and tries to hide even further.
That is cute.
It's so cute. But oh no! Someone has stopped the elevator and Anakin begins to improvise with ignited lightsaber. But Kenobi starts using the comm. And it's coming across loud and clear. Did I mention loud?
That's right. It's taking everything for R2 to keep it quiet.
Anakin, there's more than one way out of here. Obi-Wan says, we don't want to get out. We want to get moving. R2, activate elevator 31174. Come in, R2. R2, do you copy? R2, activate the elevator 31174. The droids notice, but do not currently engage. They get back to work inspecting the Jedi's ships. Anakin jumps up and through the hole in the elevator ceiling. Obi sighs. Always on the move. Meanwhile,
R2 makes his way over to the computer to activate the elevator.
a muffled Kenobi is still calling for him. R2, R2. He manages to get the elevator going, but in the wrong direction, leaving Anakin suspended in midair and Obi plummeting. He gets his footing and notices he's going the wrong way.
Oh, no.
No, 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 no! No, please! No!
Stop! Stop! R2, we need to be going up. R2, do you copy? R2, we need to be going up.
R2 quickly changes direction right about the time he sees he's been discovered by the other droid.
Now that's better.
Now that he's corrected the problem for Anakin and Obi, he's got problems of his own.
Poor little baby.
Problems. Everywhere problems.
Yes.
Problems. First, with the name calling. Who are they calling a stupid little astro droid? The nerve.
Right?
Elevator going up. Anakin jumps back down inside, startling lightsaber blazing Obi-Wan. We so remember this, we just saw it.
Right? That name calling will get oil squirted in your face every time. Now the floor is covered in R2's oil and the droids are slipping and sliding, but still holding on to R2. Well, back to the elevator.
What was that all about? Well, R2 has been... no more wire jokes. Did I say anything? He's trying. I didn't say anything.
R2 finally uses his own tiny thrusters to get away from the soaked-covered droids, thus setting oil and droids ablaze. R2 don't play around. So baby floats away. It leaves the mess behind. Hey, that sounds like some folks we know.
Yes.
Once he's safe, he turns around and just watches his handiwork. That is just too stinking adorable.
He really is. And apparently he is trying and succeeding, dear Anakin. It's really cool all the praise and trust he receives from Anakin. That's his buddy.
Aw,
He's definitely forming a bond and it will last beyond all the trouble on the horizon.
that's so good. Now that the two Jedi have reached the Chancellor, they are in agreement to take on the challenge of Dooku together. Last time, Anakin didn't fare so well, but a lot has changed.
Yeah, in so many ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only his arm has been replaced with a cybernetic mechano arm, but his powers are growing as well.
Oh, here we go, folks.
This is what everybody's been waiting for.
That's right.
The Chosen One is really feeling his oats these days.
That's right. This is exactly where Darth Sidious wants him to be. Double the pride, according to Dooku, but it's Dooku who doesn't realize he himself has been a pawn this whole time.
Yeah. You know, they battle to the death, which actually takes Anakin by surprise. Palpatine, or Sidious, commands his end.
You could see the thought process.
Yeah.
He knows this is not the Jedi way, an unarmed prisoner. And Obi-Wan lay unconscious under a fallen balcony. What will Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker do?
Well, we know what happens. He just cleared the path for his own apprenticeship under Darth Sidious. But as we mentioned, he's not easily controlled. Sidious is patient, though, but no doubt he sees the struggle Anakin goes through.
You know, just the way Palpatine says, "Do it!" That should ring some alarm bells. Unfortunately for Anakin, he's come to respect and appreciate the Supreme Chancellor. He's literally been grooming him and giving him commendation all along the way.
And that's kind of unfortunate, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he has kind of really been a mentor for him since he was a young kid. And that just kind of trust grows with that, you know? The more time you have to bond with somebody and you have the experience where things just kind of work out and you don't have a lot of problems between each other, you form a connection. So is this exactly what he wanted? You know, he knew how to play his cards to get Anakin on his side. So, oh goodness. I mean, he has truly been grooming him. Good word. Which definitely leads to the split for him. He wanted to be a Jedi, but feels they hold him back and they don't appreciate him and that they are overly critical.
I know some folks like that too. He's an emotional one, that Anakin.
Yeah.
Which makes him unpredictable.
Yes.
So again, this is what makes it interesting. This is where humility would have gone a long way for him. Yes, you are the chosen one, and you have an unmatched power, but you need to learn to wield it.
That's it. And what's the saying? Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
100%.
Young Skywalker still had much to learn, poor guy.
Yeah. Still more to come with General Grievous escaping and leaving his ship horribly out of order and control. Anakin pulls off an amazing landing, with the only casualty being a control tower near the runway, which he opened the show with.
So Kenobi says, another happy landing. No doubt he's just glad to have his feet back on the ground.
100%. Abandoned by Obi-Wan, Anakin faces the politicians who have come as a welcome wagon. Glad to see Palpatine alive and ready to hear his report, which he gladly gives the ammunition they need, citing that Dooku was a Sith and that Grievous escaped. Now the Jedi and the clone army will continue this wild goose chase of sorts.
And although Anakin had protested this meeting, he's quickly changed his mind when he lays eyes on Padme. Who is sporting Leia's infamous Star Puffs do. I love that.
That I do too.
And speaking of Leia, something wonderful has happened. With all of this going on, so much for secrecy.
Yeah, a marriage you can play coy and hide.
Yeah.
But this is going to slightly scream volumes whether you want it to or not.
Yeah. Also, he just got back from the immediate rescue of Palpatine. Judging by his reaction, was he doing the math?
Was he?
No, we jest. He's happy. Quite happy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's such a happy moment for the forbidden couple.
Yeah.
But that happiness doesn't last long before poor Annie starts having nightmares again. Darn nightmares. Of course, is on high alert, he is, naturally. but he's already started down a path that just seems to keep him from making the right decision. Man, that's life, isn't
It
it?
really is.
It's like he wants to protect his wife and child, but his fear of losing them makes him make the wrong moves.
Hearts break for him,
Oh, yeah.
truly, because
Mhm.
we know the outcome.
Yes.
Cue up episode 4. Just wish someone could have helped him before it was too late.
Yeah. It's like every time you watch episode 3, you're wishing he would just see through the shroud of the dark side.
Yeah. But the truth is, we really love this story and all its elements. It's really nice that it all flows together.
Mhm.
Kennard, would you agree that you're entirely pulled into the story and your feelings are involved? I feel like we're heavily invested in the characters and the story.
Yes, I love Revenge of the Sith. It'd been a while since I'd seen it originally, and I don't know, like within the last 20 years, so much you're aware of things.
Sure.
So to watch this again on the 20th anniversary special, it was amazing. I was pulled into the story. I understood it.
Yeah.
And it made a lot of sense to roll into episode 4 better.
Yes.
So I did enjoy that. I didn't sleep in the movie, which was epic. I do that very easily.
Yeah.
But I liked how he was trying to make choices and try to decide, should I do this? Should I do that? What do I do?
Yeah.
And he did love his family. Like he was torn.
Yeah.
So, we all kind of know what that feeling feels like.
Exactly.
Over time and stuff. So I love Revenge of the Sith. I wasn't originally a Star Wars fan, but now that, we're amped up and talking about it, I am a fan. I'm a late fan.
We love it. Welcome aboard.
But Revenge of the Sith, man, just the fact that it had Hayden Christensen in it. I mean, I don't care what they're doing in the movie. Just keep that pretty face on there. Yeah, so that's what I see in it.
Thank goodness he's the star, right?
Yes, that's almost 2 hours of pure bliss. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, if he had just been one of the background guys, you'd be like, can we go back to that scene, please? Let's just stay there for a while.
That's right. Is he the snack? Is he the popcorn? Great.
But yes, he is such a likable, lovable character, and he really brought so much to the character.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a lot of Hayden in Anakin.
I do too.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool because I don't think anyone else could have portrayed him.
No, that pretty face.
Right.
Man, smoochable.
So, there are truly some pivotal moments for Anakin in so many levels.
Mm-hmm.
When he meets Padme, at his own admission, he says he's thought of her every day for 10 years.
That was devotion right there.
Absolutely. Also, the deep love and sadness he has from losing his mother.
That's sad.
It is.
When he struck down Darth Tyrannus with Count Dooku, it all stems back to the close relationship he had with Sidious for the better part of 10 years. Disclosing to him about the emotions he had in losing his mother and feeling he had failed her.
Yeah. So when he's taken in by the allure of not only protecting Padme, but also saving her life.
Became a mission.
Yes. This was the moth to the flame analogy. It's like if he only knew. Palpatine would have her death no matter the cost because he wanted him. Yep.
Don't listen to him, Anakin. Please don't listen to him.
Right? We are begging you.
No, please, no.
Then everything that went down between Mace and Darth Sidious, he was completely pulled in because he needed Sidious to save Padme. It's all sort of twisted and sad. The tighter he wanted to hold on to Padme, the more like sand in his hands she became. No wonder he hates sand.
His incessant need to save her pretty much drove a wedge in their relationship in real time. His deepest fears came true, and by his own hand.
Yeah.
Of course, Palpatine throws that into his face. Palpatine.
Yes.
Boy, that dark side, oh my goodness. He's surely relentless.
It really is. Anakin truly suffers loss on all levels.
Yeah. So the couple so in love at the beginning of this saga Fast forward to doom and gloom.
Yeah, and with each arc, Anakin's vision becomes cloudier every day. Padme finds herself a little sadder, and she suggests the option that maybe they should seek help from Obi-Wan. You know, he's your mentor.
Right.
She's known Obi-Wan as long as she's known Anakin. So it's like, we trust this guy. She really sees him as an ally. But Annie is more resistant, kind of like a 19-year-old with his own father. They want to prove that they can carry the weight of the world on their own.
Yes, the hubris of the young.
Well, even though he doesn't want to ask dear Papa Kenobi, he does seek the advice of Yoda.
Good move.
Yes. Who lets him know, learn to let go of what you fear to lose, or face the consequences of your decision.
Yes, and see, right here, this also feels like a very pivotal moment.
Oh, to be sure. Now, Palpatine requests the time with Skywalker without informing the Council. Obi-Wan and Skywalker find this unusual, and it's making Obi uneasy.
Anakin has already seemingly thrown his hat into the ring for one person, having all the control for the ease of keeping things moving versus being caught up in the deliberations.
Yes. He let that cat out of the bag back on Naboo in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Anakin is bestowed the new charge of being the eyes, ears, and the voice of the Republic by the Chancellor.
Palpatine's personal representative on the Jedi Council. Como, what? Promotion? Jedi Master.
What? And you can literally hear Sidious's maniacal laughter as he's speaking these words. Anakin knows how the council operates, and he seems overwhelmed, but doubtful they'll allow the appointment.
Surprised, to say the least, he is accepted, but not given the ranking as master. And this infuriates Annie. You know, we're dealing with this crazy personality right now.
That's right.
He still has a pretty face.
Oh, yeah.
He's highly insulted. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, they only allow him on the council so they can keep a close eye on the Chancellor. Oh, my goodness.
All these webs and different avenues here going.
Yes.
So imagine that Star Wars is a chess set. Palpatine's desire is for him to spy on the council. The council's wish is for him to spy on the Chancellor, which all boils down to, where does Anakin's loyalty lie?
Yeah. Darth Sidious has set him up to fail, and the council seems to only make reactionary moves against the Chancellor, whom they see as a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Still not knowing he's the Sith Lord.
No.
Palpatine knows that this will make Anakin protective of him. It's so dirty.
It is dirty.
Sidious says, "Good is a point of view, Anakin."
Now, passed over for an assignment, the Chancellor elected Skywalker to handle leads to more and more doubt concerning the Council. Anakin is definitely starting to learn more about the dark side. Yeah. His feelings betray him. He's been warned so many times.
Yeah, and it seems like a little glimmer of hope just as Kenobi heads to leave for hunting down General Grievous. Anakin apologizes and tries to make amends with Obi-Wan, who confirms how much he cares for him and that he's a better Jedi than he is. He leaves him with the word patience, which if Anakin had cultivated that, maybe, just maybe, well, we'll never know.
At this point, we are taken on quite a ride when Obi arrives at Utapau in search and destroy General Grievous's mission. He scouts out the territory with the help of Boga, the pterodactyl, kind of big lizard, like iguana animal. Mm-hmm. So we're a little bit familiar with this, I guess. Kenobi and four-armed cyborg Grievous engage. Five lightsabers in action. Kenobi quickly whittles that down to 3, and Grievous is on the run.
Anakin has been dispatched to the Chancellor with a message about Kenobi's discovery. This is the last time Annie will see the Supreme Chancellor as Palpatine. This is the big reveal to the Phantom Menace himself.
Mm-hmm.
With blue lightsaber ignited, Anakin moves to kill Darth Sidious.
Uh-oh. He's on and on about the dark side and how it can make him more balanced and save his wife Padme. Anakin stands down and resorts to informing the council. Poor guy, he doesn't know whom to trust and doesn't think the Jedi trust him.
Yeah, what a lonely place for him.
Yes.
This has been what we've been waiting to see. Seeing it so many years ago for the first time, we really were surprised at the identity of the Sith Lord.
Really were. That was crazy.
Yeah.
And it's hard to remember the sheer surprise from back then because we know this story so well now.
Yeah.
All the pieces are set. It's Anakin's next move.
So some interesting things have transpired due to these movies, or shall we say movie.
I know, right? They fit so well together that they really do feel like one giant film.
OMG. Could you imagine if they ever did a re-release with all 6 together on the same day?
Oh, that'd be freaking epic.
Gosh, I would be so there. Would you be there too, Kennard?
I would.
Awesome. Powers that be. Hint, hint, hint.
That's right. We're really trying hard. We're clamoring.
We are.
That idea has merit. And hashtag facts. They would make some big money off of that.
Absolutely. And even though it's not about the money, right? Yeah. But speaking of money, one of the massive exciting things that have come about from this franchise since the early days when Anakin and Padme's children graced the screen, things have come up for sale and or auction. We've mentioned movie collectors sets and video games before, and of course, Monopoly, episode 1, episode 2.
That's cool right there.
Yeah, Monopoly Dark Side. Here's one for you, Kennard.
That's right.
And Monopoly Complete. Saga, I should say, complete. Which includes episodes 7 through 9. So, not so hard to attain, but like movie props, including like saber hilts, costumes, script books, miniatures, rough sketch artwork. That might be a little harder to come by.
Yes, Coop, and you mentioned artwork. Anyone who has an interest in fantasy or sci-fi will know this artist. Boris Vallejo, known for his mid-journey style.
Oh, yes. He's been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is right up his alley. Yes, some of his Star Wars works have gone up for auction, interestingly enough.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're in the market for some really cool items, they are out there. And all you have to do is some research and keep your ear to the ground for some amazing galaxy finds.
Yes. Check out by the Rishi Maze.
So, Kennard, would you and the Orchard Archivers like to hear a really mind-blowing fun fact?
Do we even have a choice?
Not really, no, but it's really insane, and I can't wait to share it.
Proceed.
Okay. So, fun fact. Back in 2010, a one-of-a-kind vintage Barbie used to hold the record for the most expensive toy, being $302,000. But May 31st, 2024, she was dethroned by a small model Boba Fett toy,
Okay.
fetching $525,000. It also overtook the rocket-firing Boba Fett, which was the most expensive Star Wars toy ever auctioned.
My goodness.
Yeah. Looks like our bounty hunter was on the hunt for some serious titles.
OMG.
It's crazy. There's only 2 that exist. So when the other one becomes available, can you imagine the price? Yikes.
Yikes is right. Good grief. Some serious collectors out there.
Absolutely.
So the rare gems are out there if you're willing to pay or pony up.
Yep.
Also, want to give a quick update on our lightsaber episode. We had talked about the most expensive hilts out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're happy to share a couple new numbers. Mace Windu's came up for auction between $40,000 and $80,000.
Crazy. Oh my God.
Not sure what the winning bid was, but also Anakin Saber for episode 3, which is actually beautiful Hayden's. Well, that also came up for auction as well.
Oh, I can only imagine how much this prized possession costs. The elated winning bidder? How much?
Okay, so here we go. $75,000 to $150,000. Or is that midichlorian?
Yeah.
That's a midichlorian count.
There it is. Oh, they're going to be Super Saiyan it with that. It's expensive to be a Star Wars fan, isn't it?
Yes.
But to own such rare pieces would really take your collection from Padawan to master status. Hopefully the winning bidder installed vaults and laser beams.
Yeah, what about our Darth Vader cups?
Yeah.
We have those.
We so do. Our sippy cups.
And our little baby Grogu's.
So how ironic that the sabers that he does lose on Mustafar, battling with Obi-Wan, not the only saber he's lost, but this one is special. We'll get into it in a moment.
Yes, we just love sharing the fascinating things out there that literally take this fandom to another level.
Yeah.
So that auction took place August 24th, 2024. And it's closed now, of course.
Too bad.
Yes. But check out Prop Store or Prop Store Auction to see if they have something that appeals to you.
Mm-hmm.
You never know, you might have the winning bid someday.
Oh, yeah. So back to the reason for our episode today. So much is going on at this point. As we said, all the players are revealed. Yoda is off and away with the Wookiees. And Obi is in Utapau. Action, action, action. But the elephant in the room is the sheer violent inner war that Anakin is dealing with.
That's right. It's so sad because everything he's dealing with is really because he loves so hard and he's deeply afraid to lose.
Yeah. Palpatine has paved his way right into Anakin's fears, and he is in his head of losing Padme in certain death. Even as Annie tries to turn the newly discovered Sith Lord over to the Jedi, his fear is growing.
He believes what he has told him and now feels that his demise will lead to certain death for Padme. Alone in council chambers, he stares off intently as Padme seems to stare back at him across the expanse of the city.
It's really a pivotal moment, but this is the bitter moment. Head outdone by the heart. Skywalker dashes to his ship to intervene and save the Chancellor. Oh,
Oops.
Yeah. There's no turning back now.
It's poetic how that single tear which fell in chambers was a wave of all emotions on the light side. There's a scene later where he sheds another tear on the dark side. He just can't take it anymore.
Yeah. What ensues next is just insane. So many iconic scenes, one right after another. Palpatine sits in his private office. We know he's not surprised to see Mace and the other Jedi. In the name of the Intergalactic Senate of the Republic, you are under arrest. They move to place him under arrest, but plans quickly change.
Mister, I am the Senate. Has no desire to go quietly or without a fight. Out of the 4 Jedi Masters who arrived within a couple swings of Darth Sidious's red saber, it's quickly whittled down to 1.
Yes, red and purple lightsabers sparring. Sidious is quite nimble for an old man. 1 shattered glass and 1 lost saber later, Master Windu prepares to be the victor as Palpatine cowers at his feet. just in time for Annie to arrive and see the arrest not going so well.
Oh, goodness, I love this scene. I will say that the transformation that happens to Palpatine could be a little scary for some younglings.
Yeah.
Maybe for some of us older. You don't forget something like that.
Right.
But it definitely catapults us to the Emperor we came to know in episode 5 and 6. Anakin seemingly stands up for justice, but Mace corrects him, arguing that he's too dangerous to be left alive.
I need him! The next thing we know, a blue saber cuts off Mace Windu's right hand as Sidious uses Force Lightning against Mace, the force of which throws Mace out of the high-rise window down to certain death. Or maybe not?
For more on Mace, check out our prequel of Destiny, Star Wars with a Caramel Twist, the Jedi Order episode.
That's right. So here we are. Anakin is in despair. He's no longer looking at the threshold of the dark doorway. He's literally on the other side of it. What have I done? I do whatever you ask. Just help me save Padme's life. I can't live without her.
Ooh, can we be in Padme's place? I know we're nuts.
But she dies. We don't want to take her.
That's
place.
right, second thought. So Sidious proclaims indeed he did become a powerful Sith. But what of Padme?
Yeah, it's here for the first time we hear his new name.
Henceforth, you shall be known as Darth Vader.
All right.
Darth Vader and also Vader's anthem plays, completely engulfed in the slimy flim-flam of the Sith.
Mm-hmm. Pivotal moments aplenty.
Yeah, and with his new appointment as Sidious' new apprentice, he is sent on an errand of wiping out all Jedi, young and old, across the galaxy through Order 66. Now, the clone army, once fighting alongside the Jedi, are in prime location to swiftly remove them, catching them off guard.
Oh, everything is unraveling so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda and Obi-Wan narrowly escape their own doom and meet up on Dagobah. Here is where Yoda catches Obi-Wan up to speed on everything. Kenobi sees the heartbreaking file of Annie becoming Vader.
Yeah.
They know what must be done now.
Yeah, Padme, present at the Senate rally for Supreme Chancellor turned Emperor, knows things are definitely going sideways. It's really sad that everything Annie did is for their love, but the darker and cloudier his mind becomes, he doesn't even realize he's causing her serious pain.
Obi-Wan finds her at their home and tells her everything, as painful as it may be. He appeals to her good heart and wisdom.
But oops, their secret relationship is now wide open. And Obi-Wan is no fool.
He sure ain't.
He knows Anakin is the father.
Uh-oh.
You are the father.
That's nuts.
Padme declines telling him where Anakin is or where he's gone. But again, Kenobi is no fool. He stows away secretly on Padme's ship as she flies off to Mustafar. You're a good person, she says.
Then she weeps and begs for his sensibilities to return. He speaks of overthrowing the Emperor now.
He's becoming a monster.
Yeah, hashtag facts. And yet he almost seems to be listening to Padme until he sees Obi-Wan.
Yeah, now he's gone in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like he loves and hates Kenobi. Vader now uses his classic death grip for the first time on Padme. Yeah, we don't want to trade places with her.
No, we don't.
The two once friends, brothers, father-son duo, master-apprentice, however you see it, they prepare to square off to the death.
Oh my goodness. That's truly tragic. And you know there's a great deal of sadness on both sides. Anakin proclaims he's brought peace, justice to his new empire.
Come on, what?
Yeah. It seems the Sith are gaining real control with Yoda escaping to exile after losing to Sidious.
And the battle between Skywalker and Kenobi. Blue sabers against an explosive red and black background. It's just so stinking awesome. You got volcanoes spewing red lava everywhere. So cool. Well done.
It is well done.
All the while, deeper and deeper into sadness, Padme goes. You know, it was so awesome to see this on the big screen again.
It really was. Just simply monumental. Speaking of another anniversary, episode 9's 10-year anniversary is coming up in December. Disney's 3 all came out in December, unlike Lucas's all coming out in May.
Yeah, we love May.
We do.
May.
I'm glad there's the distinction.
That's right. And I'll tell you who's likely to be the first to know the date to one maybe re-release, if possible, is likely anyone who made it to the Star Wars celebration in Japan.
Kampai!
Maybe that's not something they've leaked yet.
Japan!
I'm sure we'll hear about it, yeah. And there's always special announcements and panels aplenty. But here's an extra special Caramelicious sweet treat. Many of the alumni were there, including Hayden and Anthony Daniels.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. So congratulations if you were able to make the trip this year. Feel free to spill the tea on any other cool deeds.
That's right. Hit us up on social media.
That's right.
Now back to Anakin floating on a river of lava, or in other words,
The planet was liquid hot magma.
By the end of this most important sequence, Anakin loses both legs and his only arm.
Yeah.
Severely burned, he yells to Obi-Wan, "I hate you!" These are the last words they speak to each other until a later chance encounter on a certain Death Star, with Anakin's lightsaber in hand.
Oh, wait. The one just auctioned off? Yeah, we know the one.
Kenobi keeps this saber safely tucked away. Probably a good reason.
Yes.
Until he has a chance meeting with a young moisture farmer with dreams of becoming a pilot.
Hello there. Oh, dear. Keep those speeder engines primed and ready for our next stop. You don't want to miss this. Need a podcast to listen to on the way to Tashi Station to pick up power converters? Maybe one not fluid in bocce? Plug into the Retro Orchard as Kennedy and Cooper share more retro goodness in our Star Wars with a Caramel Twist Prequels of Destiny series. We have a good feeling about this.